I like it. What's up, everybody? This is the Four Horsemen Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Josh Romine. With me tonight are two of the other three horsemen. Joshua Van Cleef, how are you, sir?
Hi.
Hey. Also got Alex Devaney Stoner. How are you, Alex?
Hi. How are you doing?
And we are short one Brent Walker. He was not able to make it. Thought he might be able to, but the show must go on. So he just got back from a long trip up to Wisconsin for some work stuff, and he's tired and probably sleepy. So he can listen to this some
Probably
other
cold.
day. He's cold. Yeah. I'm sure he's cold. But so this is the Week 15 preview. Fantasy playoffs started last week in a lot of people's leagues, and we'll talk about Week 15. We'll go over our stock watch, do my random question, and then we'll talk some players. Maybe we'll start talking a little bit about next year because I'm already looking forward.
You need to look forward. There's not much to look at in the present.
Nothing. I have nothing left but DraftKings to take me through for the rest of the season. I started honing in on my NBA DraftKings skills because this life is short on the NFL season.
Yeah.
But let's start off with our random question. And what are you guys doing for Christmas?
Just the huge. I mean, not anything crazy. I mean, like we do kind of like we start on the 23rd and then we just carry through till Christmas. So, I mean, we just having a ball, open presents. That's pretty much it.
Presents. There's nothing wrong with that. How about you, Van Cleef? What do you do? Anything exciting?
I'm going to Florida.
You're going to Florida?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Leave on the 23rd, and we'll get back till the 30th.
Dang. I didn't know that at all.
For why?
Courtney's family just wants to go, so we're going. It's just like
all right.
It's like the McAllisters.
Yeah.
It's just the intermediate family, just Court's mom and stepdad and her sisters, and then just going down for a week. Her mom, like a few months back, was like, "All right, everybody, let's just go to Florida." So everybody's like, "Okay." so we've been planning ever since. We're going to go with her other sister. We're going to go to Disney one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're going down to Orlando.
Okay. Just staying in Orlando then? The whole time? Or are you guys going anywhere else?
I don't know. We may go other places to visit, but not too sure yet. But Disney's the only thing we planned out so far. Other than that, we're just hanging out. We got a pool and hot tub at the house.
I did nothing wrong with that. I wish I had a pool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Freezing my ass off up in the Angola. So I was like the whole point, like, so we have developed, a routine. So like every year we do the same thing. We'll have like a Christmas at some point other than Christmas with my wife's side of the family. And then we will do like just me, my wife, and my kids will do Christmas Eve and then Christmas morning, open presents, and then drive up to my parents' house. So I feel kind of bad because like the kids are all pumped up. Santa came, they open their presents. Then we're like, get your asses in the car. We're driving up to grandma's. 3.5 hours in the car. They don't get to play with any of their new toys. They sit there and watch DVDs. And I feel kind of like a bad parent, but
hey, they're going to get more presents. I mean, you're basically taking them to the promised land. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, good. I feel better about it now because Santa's presents are nothing in comparison to grandparents' parents' presents.
Oh,
so
yeah,
hands down. All right, well, that's enough Christmas talk, even though I'm super pumped about it. But let's get into fantasy stock watch. This is where it gets good. Alex is pumped to talk about it.
Let's do this.
First up on the list, stocks down on Michael Floyd. Not only has he been a total piece of shit, non-catching balls-ass punk, he now adds a DUI to his already stellar resume and gets himself cut from the Cardinals. Have no fear, Floyd Truthers. He has been picked up by the New England Patriots. So... what say you? Alex, just lay it on me. I'm ready.
Okay. He could be one of two things. He could be Randy Moss, Brandon Lloyd, or he could be Ocho Cinco. I don't see him being those first two. Like he's had good quarterback, play. He's had, those guys that can take the heat off of him. Like he's the opportunity's been there. He hasn't been on like a garbage team that warrants his garbage play. So I don't think that him being with the Patriots is really going to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what this was going to do for his stock. I mean, I'm sure the Patriots will find some way to put him in the system, but really you've got, if when Gronk's healthy, Gronk's there, and then you have Edelman, and then you have this new emergence from I can't remember his name. He's
Chris
a rookie
Hogan?
there. No, he's a rookie there.
You're talking about Malcolm Mitchell?
Oh my God. He's had 2 games. Get off it.
No. Hey, Alex, he's on Van Cleve's Pride League team,
my
so
gosh.
let him have his moment. He's proud.
Well, I will say that picking up a Malcolm Mitchell was a better selection than picking up Michael Floyd.
I can't argue that.
I mean, I will give Van Cleve that.
But in all seriousness, it doesn't feel like there's too many mouths to feed in New England now, though.
Yeah.
And even though Gronk is out,
I think. Well, and see, that's the thing is that I don't see him as. Do you really think that the Patriots are going to sign him? I mean, he's still going to be a free agent. So, I mean, I don't think that he's going to end up, as a Patriot in the end because, like VC said, there's just too many. If you're going to be developing guys like Malcolm Mitchell, if you're going to be, doing the 2 tight end set with Bennett and Gronk next year, there's not going to be any room for a guy like Michael Floyd. And I know that the Patriots are the team that would do something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Malcolm Mitchell probably is a better player and less headache.
Yeah.
I mean,
because I could be wrong, but I never saw Floyd as an underneath guy where he's just kind of this PPR guy who gets down the route, and like that's really where the Patriots
that's kind of what
is the underneath stuff because they take advantage of those matchups.
But that's what
linebackers they offset your linebackers and so they scheme for that and stuff. So I really think that's where if he's going to take the place of Julian Edelman or something like that, then maybe, but I don't think he is.
No,
he's not.
I don't think that. I think that, honestly, he is if he could function correctly, he is something that they're missing. Because when they had Brandon Lloyd, when they had Randy Moss, they were able to do those kinds of things. But now they can't because they just don't have that guy. I mean, honestly, Gronk is that guy. Gronk is the guy that's going to run 40 yards down the field and catch a ball. And they do need that. I think that's a big thing that's missing from their offense.
I mean, dude, Gronk is going to get hurt. He can't do that to himself. Like, his body can't handle it. He just keeps getting injured.
Well, I mean,
he needs to be the red zone target. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think his body's built to take that. But Michael Floyd's definitely a field stretcher. That's what he does. He's quick. He's big, tall. He's got a lot of measurables, and he just has sucked, and he's made me very upset. He's hurt me deeply. He's cut me right where it counts.
Right.
And I'm upset.
It's that Notre Dame in him. I'm telling you, those Notre Dame skill players they don't transition very well. I don't know why. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't understand why there are specific colleges. Doesn't matter who the coach is. That maybe their defense will be, like Penn State is a perfect example. For the most part, I don't want anything to do with Penn State offensive players because they come in the league, they crap out. But defensive players, oh yeah, I'll take them all day. But they've had, three coaches, I think, in the last 5 or 6 years at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. That's enough Michael Floyd talk. I'm already getting more mad. Next stock watch stocks up on Todd Gurley. Maybe now that Fisher's gone, someone can let him run the ball a little bit more. Yeah.
Run the damn ball.
That's it.
I mean, here's the fact of the matter with Gurley is that when you have a guy like that, you run him 20 times. Running with him 10 to 13 times, that isn't going to do anything. Like, they're like, oh, he's only running for 40 yards. Well, yeah, because most running backs have 1 or 2 big runs, and the rest are filler. The rest are just getting those small little chunks. And it's just blowing my mind that you've got this talented player that was really good with the same team, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come into this year, you run him 10 times per game, and then you're like, I don't understand why he's not going, because you got to run him 20 times. I just don't understand that mentality.
Yeah, I was pretty thankful that Todd Gurley made me at least not a total piece of shit last week. He outscored Garrett Blount. So close. It almost didn't even feel like a win. So, but I was glad to see him score. It's we'll see how he does tonight against Seattle, but
I mean, as of right now, no, it's not. He's as of right now, it's 6 for 29.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing any Gurley bets this week anyway. So, but I still like him.
Yeah, honestly, it's more of an upside for his dynasty value, because when that contract came out that Fisher was going to be added on for another 2 years, I was like, well, I mean, his stock to me went way down. I think that if they get the right coach, the right-minded coach, I think that he could be really good. Yep. I think he could be comeback player of the year next year, honestly.
Yeah, buy him discounted while you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for like dynasty, like you said, go ahead, get on him. Next stock's down on James Starks. This is a weird one to put in there because James Starks sucks, but
he does suck.
He's in a concussion protocol after getting in a car accident. People like these NFL players need to get out from behind the wheel. I think
get a limo driver.
Drive his Daisy.
Yeah.
You got Michael Floyd passing out at intersections. James Starks getting in car wrecks. Like, it's a tough world out there.
Not to jump back into the Michael Floyd thing, but okay. I'm not a big drinker. How drunk do you have to be to actually fall asleep at the wheel?
Okay, so like, I have fallen asleep at the wheel not drunk. Like, I'm just a tired person. I like to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting at a stoplight and I'm like, oh, God, this is a long stoplight, I start nodding off a little bit. Like, I could see it, especially if I had been drinking.
I guess.
15 beers is when you fall asleep at the wheel.
Okay.
15 beers. Okay.
There you go.
15.
But
that's a lot of beer to drink after a game day.
Let's get back on the James Starks, because I think that Ty Montgomery has the last couple games shown that he can be a fill-in for them at running back, whether or not he's running the ball too many times. He can take those short passes and do something with them. But is there any value in James Starks anymore at all? Are you cutting him in every format?
I mean, I don't see what the point is of holding on to him. It's not like they are running the ball effectively even when he is in there. Especially if you're in the playoffs and you have James Starks as one of your starters, count your blessings and find somebody to replace him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know that at this point you would have to think that if he's in your lineup, he's kind of locked in. But I agree. I think that I still don't like Ty Montgomery. I don't think that he's really putting anything out there that is that great. But he does have a little bit more upside than Stark. So if by some chance you have both of them, I would go Montgomery.
Oh, absolutely. Van Cleve, do you have anything to add to that conversation about Starks?
No, not really. That Green Bay running game I'm not really thrilled about anyway, so no.
Yeah, no. What?
My wife is a Green Bay Packer fan, and she heard me dissing the Green Bay Packers, so she was yelling at me.
She thinks that James Starks is amazing?
Well, anything Green Bay, she thinks is amazing.
Get her headset. Get her headset right now.
You don't want
She's replacing Brent. We're done with Brent.
You already know she's going to have better quality feed than Brent. So let's go ahead and move it on to our fantasy talk. Before we do that, though, hop on Twitter, follow us, 4Horsemen Pod. Send us emails, 4horsemenpod@gmail.com. It's the end of the season. We're still going strong. Hit us up. Let's talk fantasy, though. Let's talk same format that we've been doing, grouping in these games. My first slate of games I want to talk about has got the Rams at Seahawks, Dolphins at Jets, Browns at Bills, Lions at Giants, and Eagles at Ravens. First off, do you guys have any interest in starting Devontae Parker or Jarvis Landry this week against the piss-poor Jets?
Is Matt Moore starting? Is that?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if it's official yet, but
oh my God,
does it matter?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why?
I
Matt
don't know.
Moore. Honestly, I think that Matt Moore has shown flashes of being decent.
He has, but I don't think he's going to have a good rapport with Devontae Parker.
No,
like the number
honestly,
ones.
I'm just saying, maybe this is a Carew game. This is where Carew gets out there and does it. That would make more sense.
Well,
than like Parker going up and blowing up.
What about Kenny Stills?
Kenny Stills just pisses me off. I gotta hate that guy. he keeps vulturing touchdowns away from Parker.
Yeah, Andy had 100 yards last week, I think.
God, what a dick.
So you're not starting Parker or Landry this week, then?
Honestly, I don't really want to. I mean,
it's a great matchup, but with that quarterback, I'm not sure what's going to be like.
Okay, here's the thing: if you drafted Devontae Parker, he was a fill-in. He's not your start. Jarvis Landry is your starter. So,
yep.
It depends on what you've got.
Well, maybe Jarvis. Maybe you should start Jarvis Landry because maybe they'll just do some underneath routes. And
That's true. That is true.
That quick pass with Matt Moore to get him more comfortable in that offense and gain him more confidence to get the offense going. So I probably if any of those two, I'd start Landry over Parker.
Yeah, I would too. So I like that. Next question for you guys: Kent Dixon or Todd Gurley? I know Gurley's already playing, but just maybe.
I would say Gurley because I know he's going to get the volume.
Yeah, so I guess it's a non-point. Like maybe moving forward for the rest of the season or looking on to next season.
Still, I go with Gurley because I know I know the talent he is. And that. Go ahead.
We still don't know. We still don't know what to expect from Kenneth Dixon. Everything about Kenneth Dixon is like, well, he might be the starter. Well, he might be this. Well, he might be that.
Yeah.
They haven't figured that out yet. And that, we talked about it. It's still a very muddy situation. Wide receivers, tight end, and running back is just confusing in Baltimore. I don't want anything to do with those teams right now, or with that team right now, honestly.
As far as like starting this year, I don't really want anything to do with them, but I really like Kenneth Dixon. I think he's looked good. He's been a great pass catcher, and Terrence West Terrence West isn't a starting running back in the NFL. I don't think he should be, at least.
No,
which is why if you can get your hands on Dixon, pick him up for maybe to start him too much for the rest of the season, but next year.
Value-wise, yes, you could probably get Dixon cheaper. But if I had to choose one or the other, I'm going to choose Gurley because I know what Gurley's capable of, and I know that I can get him cheaper than what he probably will be valued later on. Whereas Dixon,
right now,
even if Dixon becomes the starting running back in March or April or something like that, that still doesn't mean anything because the Ravens haven't run the ball that well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just like the Ravens they always seem like they're a good defensive team, which normally, you want a running back on good defensive teams. That's how it works. But I don't know. I just kind of put that question in there because I really want to talk about Kenneth Dixon. I don't really even want to talk about Todd Gurley, so that was maybe a bad example. But I like Kenneth Dixon, and I like him moving forward. And just talking about Baltimore, like I wouldn't mind picking up Rashad Perryman for moving forward for Dynasty.
Well, I mean,
especially if Steve Smith retires.
Yeah, but I think that kind of is an issue to me. Like, he couldn't beat out a 36-year-old guy.
Well, I mean, we're talking. 36-year-old. I mean, it's Steve Smith, though.
But
he's been a top wide receiver. I mean, his whole career.
Mike Wallace. Like, I mean, look at the guys that he's not beating out. That's what the problem is to me.
Yeah, but he's a second-year player that was injured all of last year, basically like a rookie. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
And lately, he's shown that he's got talent.
He's getting more and more targets his way. I will give him that. I do see what you're saying, but especially with Mike Wallace. Now, but Mike Wallace is a deep threat that Joe Flacco can take on. But like most consistent wide receiver there is Steve Smith. Go ahead.
Speaking of the wide receivers there, I mean, can you believe how Kamara Aiken just disappeared? I mean, insane. Like we were talking about whether he was a number one at the start of the season, and he has vanished. I mean, I think he has like 10 catches, something insanely low. Like, just crazy low.
It just goes to show you he's not very good. Like
that's what I kind of figured about him too. And
the whole reason we thought he might be a number one is because those wide receivers can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like who knew what Mike Wallace was going to do? But we all know Steve Smith is Achilles are made of mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
but they've managed to stay healthy, so I think that's kind of made Kamara Aiken useless.
No, it's he's at 25 receptions for 287 yards.
Solid numbers. I don't know. Rashad Perriman, if you can pick him up and save him for next year for little no cost, I don't think there's anything wrong with holding on to him. How about Bilal Powell if Forte's out or Thomas Rawls? Who you taking there?
I think I'm going with Rawls.
Yeah.
Just because Seattle likes to run the ball. He's an aggressive runner. We've seen the talent he can do. And going against the Rams, I think Miami has a better front line than LA. Even though LA has a good defense, don't get me wrong, they have a good defense. I think I feel more comfortable starting Rawls over Powell.
Yeah, I agree. I think Powell just that was a fluke. Like, I don't know. Like, his week last week just kind of seems like a fluke.
Yeah, I don't know, but Powell has looked good this year, filling in, I think. I think there's times that he's looked better than Matt Forte, just in general. And
maybe I'm even wrong, because if you look at it, Russell Wilson is the leading rusher right now. So,
well, and that's another thing. Both of these guys don't seem like they're very consistent. So I don't really like – I wouldn't feel great about either one of them. But Rawls does have a little bit more of, I know what Rawls will do week in and week out. Like he'll I don't know. I honestly, I hate both players.
You do.
I hate
both players.
I really loved Rawls last year. I was big on him, and then he got hurt, and I was like, meh.
I don't know. I still think Rawls is talented, and I know I own him in the league, so maybe I'm just wishful thinking. But I think when I watch him, freaking Seattle's offensive line is just garbage.
Well, the other part though is that they basically said through the draft and starting Kristen Michael that they don't like Rawls.
I don't know if that's true.
How many guys do you have to draft?
Rawls was injured. The Kristen Michael thing, I don't think has very low relevance to that statement. The draft thing, I get. They picked up CJ Procise, but what's his nuts?
Alex Collins.
Yeah. Who cares? He's not even that good.
Well, okay. But the fact is, it doesn't matter if he's good or not now. You can look at guys like Jordan Howard, and other than myself, most people didn't know that he was going to blow up. So
oh my god!
When you draft 14, you hope at least have to do something.
Hey, I hit on a couple.
Garbage. No, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I still think that there's hope for Rawls. And, of course, it's going to come at the end of the season, and it's going to leave everybody thinking what's going to happen next year. Yeah, if he could just, shit out for the rest of this year and not done anything, I'd feel a whole lot better about CJ Procise going into next year, because I really liked what he had to show. So.
He did, yeah. Those last couple of games that he had, he looked great.
Mm-hmm. I think regardless of how Rawls does, I think what Procise showed this year, he's going to be a big part of that offense. I think they like what they have. Yes, they have. He's going to have a role no matter what in the passing game and possibly in the running game because he showed talent. He showed that he can take that on and they can trust him. So I think he's going to have a role no matter what Rawls does.
Yeah.
Well, the way that NFL's gone, like just the NFL in general, how they utilize their running backs has like made it a little bit harder on fantasy owners. Like, you're trying to find those running backs that are going to be, getting 20 to 25 carries a week, and it's getting harder and harder to find. And with Rawls, what you were hoping was that he was going to be a workhorse running back, and I don't think that that's going to happen.
No, I agree. I think that you're going to have it's going to be kind of a split thing where you have Procise a little bit more on the third down work and getting those pass catches, and Rawls will be kind of just pounding the rock there.
The good thing about looking at it, with CJ Procise, like they at least have more invested in Procise than they do with Rawls. Rawls was undrafted, so even if he's talented, they have more invested in Procise. So if you're picking up, one or the other to hold on to till next year, I'd almost rather have Procise over Rawls. So, last one on this slate, I just want to know, you guys, quarterback wise, you starting Eli Manning this week or Joe Flacco?
I don't want anything to do with Eli Manning.
Yeah.
I think Flacco.
They're playing the Lions.
No,
because I think the Ravens right now are becoming a hot team. I know they lost to the Patriots, but I still think that they're still trying to win their division because it's going to be a tight one versus them and the Steelers.
Yeah, and they're playing one of the worst teams in the NFL this week.
Exactly. So I like Joe Flacco in this matchup over Eli.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Eli is done. I don't think he's gonna retire. I just think he's done. I mean, he has everything at his disposal, and one of the best wide receivers in the league, and still looks like garbage. I mean, he looked better when he didn't have wide receivers.
I've been putting a lot of bold calls out there. I think that this is an Eli Manning week. I got a feeling. My feelings have not been right, so you should probably bench him.
He could. But that's the thing, is that he is so inconsistent.
I know. And it's just trying to pinpoint those weeks that he does blow up, and it makes it so hard.
Oh,
But this could be one of those weeks. I feel it. I mean, like this could be an Odell Beckham 200-yard game, I think.
I'm fine with that.
He hasn't really had one this season. I think that it could 2 touchdowns, 200 yards for Odell.
No,
I'm fine.
You don't think he wants to go out there? He doesn't want to go out there and destroy Slay. Like, I don't know. People are talking Slay up. I don't know. I could see it, Josh.
600. I want 600 yards and 8 touchdowns.
I
want Le'Veon Bell numbers for a wide receiver.
Le'Veon Bell's been so ridiculous lately. Let's move on to the next.
Here's what's going to happen. Lions are going to go in the fourth quarter and be losing, and then come back and win because Stafford's going to do something ridiculous.
That's how it too.
Not play because he's injured and sucks.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. I have 2 quarterbacks that have busted up hands. What the hell? Somebody's putting the hit out. I don't know who. It might be the guy that keeps busting up Brandon's team.
Well, let's move it on to the next slate, guys. We got the Steelers at Bengals, Colts at Vikings, Packers at Bears, Titans at Chiefs, and Jaguars at Texans. You guys think that AJ Green's going to play this week?
No.
No. I don't understand why they would even play him. They're out of it. They're out of it. Just sit him.
Why rush him back? But
they're talking like he's going to play.
I'm sure he wants to play, especially since it's a division game. It's a big rival game. I don't know.
Why? Like, I mean, okay, from Green, I understand, but from a team standpoint, why? Why would you put him out there? Like, he should have been out a lot longer than this, and I have no idea why he's just like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, he's gonna play. Like, what if he really screws something up and has to have surgery and then he has to go through the whole off season when they're out of it? They're not coming back to do anything. It's over.
Yeah, I think the smart thing would be to shut him down, but he's practicing, so it's got to mean something. I don't know.
Well, it's just a hamstring issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't trust him, right? If you have him on your fantasy team, obviously you want to start him, but you're in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
But if he's active,
yeah. Are you? Can you tell me that you would bench AJ Green if he starts this week? If you had him on your fantasy team in the playoffs, I know that's hard for you to think because the playoffs are a little bit trying for you right now. But but if you did,
ouch.
If you did.
I don't know. That would be tough.
Start him. I'm sorry, Ruben. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I could compose myself. So, you know what I mean? I don't think I would. I think I could bench him. Especially you made it into the playoffs with him being out for the last 4 weeks. You made it there, so obviously you have something that's gotten you to that point. Me, I don't have to worry about that because my team that I have him in lost, and Drew Brees and AJ Green, I blame them personally, and they basically ruined Christmas for my kids this year. So I hope Drew Brees thinks he's this great guy. He's not. He ruined fantasy this year.
He ruined Christmas.
He ruined kids' lives. He made my little daughter cry.
Just go into your living room when your kids are watching TV and just say, kids, just know Drew Brees did this, and just knock over your Christmas tree and just walk out the door.
Handwrite a letter to Drew Brees.
Yeah. You need to apologize to my children.
So
no, have your daughters write it to him. Be like, thanks. My daddy says you're a huge dick. So ruined Christmas for us.
So
before Christmas presents.
Before everything fell apart, I was thinking to myself, I always hate when guys call out NFL players for, sucking at fantasy. I was like, oh, maybe this year I'll send Drew Brees a nice edible arrangement or something. I'll send him some flowers, just something to thank him. And you know what? I'm not a big fan, but I won $1,000 because of you. And then literally right after I had that thought, he started screwing me and sucking. We got off tangent. I'm done. I'm done with talking Drew Brees or AJ Green. Don't want to hear it. Actually, I think I have a question about Drew Brees later in the show.
Yeah, but I have a question too. Maybe it's the same one. Okay, go ahead.
So, Stephon Diggs or Alshon Jeffrey?
Ooh. See, they're playing Green Bay, and it's with Barkley. It's going to be, I heard, possibly one of the coldest games on record. They're not going to want. Yeah, they're not going to want to throw it very much. Even though I heard though Barkley stayed after with Jeffries to continue throwing, I still want to go Diggs. It's going to be indoors, going against the Indianapolis secondary. I choose Diggs just because you've seen what he can do with Bradford versus Barkley. I don't know.
Neither one of these guys are attractive at the moment. You've got Jeffrey. We don't know what he's going to be doing with Barkley. Diggs, it's hit or miss again. I mean, he's had a couple of games this year. Outside of that, he just hasn't really done a whole lot. It's not his fault. It's the fact that they went out and got Bradford and paid an outrageous amount of money or outrageous amount to get him, which I'm fine with. That's fine. If you want to give the Eagles a first-round pick, take their garbage off their hands, that's fine. But I guess I have to go Diggs just because I don't know if Barkley can get it to Jeffrey. And like you said, it's going to be so cold. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited for the pass game, but Alshon's going to be healthy. You know that. He's been sitting for 4 weeks now. He should be back to 100%.
I was going to play Jeffries in a daily as just kind of something different than give it a shot. But that's cheap. Maybe about it. Yeah, Jeffries is pretty cheap, and then Barkley's super cheap.
Yeah.
As far as the quarterback goes, so maybe as a daily, I'd maybe give it a look. But if you're in playoffs, I don't know if I trust that.
Yeah.
Would you? Okay. Given the opportunity, you've got Jeffrey and AJ Green.
One or the other?
Yeah. And I know that it almost seems like a simple question, but I don't think it's a simple question.
It's not because I don't know if AJ Green's going to be a decoy or not because we don't even know if it's going to be 100%. Whereas Jeffries, we know,
like, but Jeffries is 100% with a third run or a third quarterback
who's probably better than the first string, anyways. I mean, it's not
I mean, the fact is that Jay Cutler can get the ball down the field, like that we know. Barkley, I'm not sure about his arm strength, but if for whatever reason Green is okay, he's practicing all the way through. Who's going to get the ball? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, Dalton's still going to be throwing it to him, so the opportunity is there for him to have over 100 yards. I don't think Jeffrey has the opportunity to go over 100 yards just based on like 4 weeks off. Hasn't really played with Barkley. Cold day. Like I don't know. But yeah, original question. I think it is Diggs, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I'd rather play Diggs over Jeffrey, but I'd rather play Jeffrey over AJ Green. I think. Just the way that I think the Bengals' game plan is going to line up, I don't know. I just don't see the Steelers blowing them out. I think it's going to be a big Le'Veon Bell day, and I think that it's not going to be super high scoring. I could see Jeremy Hill having a good day. I just don't think that they're going to have to be put in a position to throw too much to AJ Green. And Alshon Jeffrey could – why not? You know what I mean? Like, let Barkley try, throw it to him. But whatever. Let's move on to the next one. Spencer Ware, Lamar Miller.
My God, yuck.
I'm thinking Spencer Ware.
Who are those teams facing?
So the Chiefs play the Titans at home, and the Texans play the Jaguars at home.
Neither one has like an awesome matchup, and they're not really that great.
Jaguars have a little bit better of a pass defense than run defense.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
In that instance, I'm still drawn back to. I think it's a little bit of kind of why you love him so much, Rowan, is that the talent is there for Lamar Miller. Like it's there, and he went from one bad situation to another, and
where's the game going to be played for Kansas City?
It's in Kansas City.
Ooh, so it's going to be cold. So they're going to want to probably run the ball.
I mean, plus Alex Smith is their quarterback, so I think they're probably always going to run the ball.
Oh, man, that is going to be a tough one going into the playoffs. I mean, I would just go with Spencer Ware just because I know they're going to want to run the ball, whereas the Houston, I don't know what they're going to want to do because it seems to or it shouldn't, but it seems to the quarterback play hurts that running back really bad.
Well, they can stack the box. I mean, that's basically what the problem has been. They aren't opening up holes. They're not doing anything right by Lamar Miller. They're just letting. Oh God, it makes me sick, honestly. Like,
trust me,
it's just watching him. He is trying so hard, to find something, and it's not materializing. Like somebody will trip him up in the backfield, or he's like bouncing around. And he starts cutting up, and then it's awful.
He keeps getting hurt, but just keeps coming back in the game. So I mean, he's not quitting, which I like. Because I really like Lamar Miller, you know that. Like, I loved him going into the season. I thought it was going to be a good situation. It just turned into a shit show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would start Lamar Miller over Spencer Ware. I don't really like Spencer Ware that much.
I don't either. Like, it doesn't seem like he's got a lot of flash. And for me, if a running back is not like consistent, if he can't, it's like. That same line was allowing, Jamal Charles to run all day. Why isn't Ware? And I'm still not even convinced that he's better than Charkandrick West.
Yeah.
I'm still confused on what happened in that whole situation because West seemed like he was way better last year. And then this year we've kind of gotten, all Spencer Ware, but to me, I don't know, and I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like the Sharknado might be better.
Well, let's start Lamar Miller this week, I think. Fan Cleve, you disagree, but that's okay.
It's all right.
Last question on the slate games, guys. Kyle Rudolph or Ladarius Green?
There's one man that's got the highest ceiling, though. And his
Ladarius
name
Green?
is Ladarius.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, I think Ladarius has the highest ceiling, but you could almost go with Rudolph has a better floor.
Oh, he definitely.
Oh, yeah, he definitely.
Indy sucks at defending tight ends, so.
Well, and I mean, one hit, Ladarius could go out for the season after a hit. I mean, I think that's one problem. But no, I agree. But you're in the playoffs. It's kind of time to play the risk a little bit. I think.
You think so? Not go safe, especially to survive the first round.
Is it that much more safe? Is it so much more safe to go with Rudolph to get you 10 points versus Ladarius that might get you, well, depending on the league, I guess.
Yeah.
Get 5 to 7 points, we'll say, for Rudolph. And the floor for Ladarius might be 3, but he could be, he could go for over 100 yards. He could get a couple of touchdowns. Rudolph is going to be limited. I think that he'll see volume, but you're going to look at a stat line of 5 to 6 catches for 40 to 60 yards, maybe a touchdown.
That's funny because last week he had 4 for 60 and a touchdown.
Yes.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah. And then Ladarius, of course, he went over 100.
Yeah, but that's what Ladarius, I feel like he could be a 0 or he could be, a 17.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a 0, but is it possible that he is 2 for 22 and no touchdowns? Yeah. Totally.
Like last week, 2 for 25 and no touchdowns.
Good God. I was just totally making this shit up.
So who are you starting there? You starting Green? Is that what we decided?
Personally, I would start Green because there is the chance of him blowing up to a much better tight end than right now we're in a league without Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
There are only Kelsey is basically your best tight end at this point. Ladarius could be number 2 with his upside. Sure.
And I like playing tight ends with big upside. And that's kind of what I like about Ladarius Green.
I don't know. I'm almost kind of where I like to have a good base for a tight end because at least I know what. Because tight ends can either score really high or really still nothing. And I feel if I can get a good baseline with my tight ends, I can beat the other team's average. If they have a tight end, maybe it scores so high and somebody does. At least I know I can consistently get those points.
I get what you're saying. I just disagree.
Yeah. Well, that's not something new. We're always going to disagree. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a thing that we've never discussed on this show is that there are kind of 2 ways of playing it. There's kind of the safer way where you might have a more consistent record and make the playoffs, or you kind of have this boom or bust team that could be the best in your league or fall flat on its face. And I think when you're in the playoffs, you have to play how you play. The reason you got into the playoffs, continue that way. Yeah. So if you are a risk taker, keep taking those risks. Don't change your philosophy. But if you have always been, I'm going to take this guy because he's got a higher floor, and I know what the rest of my players are going to do, then do that. There's no reason to change midstream your what you're doing, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that point because you did what you did for a reason. When you make it to the playoffs, don't change your strategy. That's something very important to take note is you got to the playoffs for a reason for what you did. Don't go changing something different, overthinking it, Roman.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Well, what I was gonna say is like my only money league that I'm still alive in, I have to make the choice between Antonio Gates and Ladarius Green.
Ladarius.
I would go with Ladarius Green there.
See, right now I got Antonio Gates in there, but
because Gates and Hunter Henry are splitting some time there, and
Yeah.
you're not seeing much of Gates, but Ladarius Green is the sole.
I also have Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, and DeMarco Murray all on that team. So like, I'm not too worried about it.
So,
if I don't win this league though, I'm probably going to
just quit fantasy football together.
I'm going to Michael Floyd it and interception and throw everything away. Let's move on to our last slate of games though, guys. We got the Saints at Cardinals, 49ers at Falcons, Patriots at Broncos, Raiders at Chargers, Buccaneers at Cowboys, and Panthers at Redskins. Drew Brees or Carson Palmer? Oldie versus oldie.
God.
Is that even a question right now?
Yeah, I mean, probably most.
Is this just a question for who you should start in pride in the consolation bracket?
No,
or throw a Tyrod in there?
No,
oh my God!
They play each other like. I feel like
Drew Brees. That's hands down. Even though Drew Brees
really?
up, yes.
Like okay, so a lot of things that like I listen to a lot of podcasts. A lot of people like Carson Palmer this week.
That's understandable, but
he may have a great matchup, but hasn't he had great matchups before?
Yeah.
What has he done this year? Like,
I mean,
he's had one game.
The last couple games, he's been pretty decent, hasn't he? I don't know about last week, but
last week he was. I was thinking. I don't know.
You guys keep talking. I'll figure it out.
I was gonna say Drew Brees has been a garbage fire the last couple games. He's on the road where he struggles. He's going against Arizona, who has a good secondary.
I agree with Van Cleve on this. I just with Breeze, what he like throughout the year. I mean, he's been good for most of the year. He's tanked the back end of the year. Now, what I would want to know is we saw this same kind of thing out of Peyton Manning, and then he came back for another year and was absolutely terrible. Is this like are we seeing the downfall of Drew Brees? That's possible. I think we've already seen the downfall of Carson Palmer. He needs to stop.
Yeah,
he's done.
Palmer was had 145 and he had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions last week.
Yeah, that's not good.
He started the game with 2 interceptions. I mean, it was yeah. I think if you are a quarterback like that with the weapons he has around him and you are not throwing for over 200 yards, you're done.
The weather was super shitty down there.
What can we say for the rest of the season then?
Yeah, I'm not giving a pass.
I will give you this. The week before, he played the Redskins. He had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He was great in that game. That's basically his best game of the season.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I mean, I think that Arizona has better weapons, honestly. Like, I think if you take some of those wide receivers off of New Orleans and you put them on other teams, they're all right. They're Kenny Stills. It's that kind of player. They're just elevated because of how good Drew Brees is. And I think that, like I said, we've seen a dip in Brees. We've seen a flat line for almost the entire season of Palmer. I don't care what he's going up against because I've seen him go up against cake defenses and not done well either. So, no, Breeze.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all right. Next question. Dontrell Inman or Jamison Crowder? A couple guys emerging.
I'm a big Crowder fan.
You are.
I am. Yeah, I'm a big Crowder fan.
He looks good.
Yeah, he looks real good.
I mean, he looks like a solid. He can be number 1, especially if they like that pass-happy offense. He's going.
I think he's a number 2. I think he's a number 2. I think that if Doxson comes out next year and they kind of get him going, he's going to be that number 1. I think he's going to be that field stretcher. But Crowder. He's kind of like he could be like the Allen Hurns if the Jags were good.
Allen,
Like-
that's a terrible comparison.
No. Listen,
Allen
listen.
Hurns is trash.
Okay.
How about
Alan
Emmanuel
Hurns is
Sanders?
not trash.
How
Emmanuel
about
Sanders is a
Emmanuel
much better comparison.
Fine.
Sanders.
That's fine. Emmanuel Sanders. But actually, Emmanuel Sanders has been better than Demarius this year. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they've both shown flashes, but I mean, they both have Trevor Siemian throwing them the ball.
yeah,
so.
that's true.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with Paxton Lynch because he seemed to favor Thomas. We'll see how that goes.
No, screw that.
But we're getting off the topic here. But Carolina's got a bad secondary.
Yeah.
And
not
so
good at all.
I trust Kirk Cousins a little bit more. Is that? I mean, it's
No,
Phil
I don't
Rivers?
think that's crazy. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
I mean,
At this
just 'cause-
point, honestly, Kirk Cousins has been pretty damn good this year.
especially fancy wise, he's been lights out.
Yeah, and
He hasn't been a
I'll be
terrible
the first
NFL
one.
quarterback.
I'll be the first one to admit that. Like, I was just like, no, this is ridiculous. He had half here, half this. He's been much more consistent. The bad games aren't terrible. I mean, he had games where he had like 4 interceptions and no touchdowns at the beginning of last season. It was god awful. When he's bad, he's not awful, and the team can still win even when he's not doing well. And I think that that's kind of the big thing that is the difference this year. Phillip Rivers is just going to be this kind of above average guy that never wins a Super Bowl. I mean, like he's all right. Like he's like a really good Ryan Tannehill. He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I could see him chucking the ball against the Raiders. They've been pretty.
They don't have
not good
Gordon.
defense. So.
I mean, they're always going to chuck the ball. I mean, it has been, but I've seen more of Crowder, I guess,
and returning kicks and stuff like that. Inman doesn't return kicks, does he?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I guess I don't really know.
Crowder is kind of like I guess this is kind of a bad one, but like Tyreek Hill, Cordero Patterson, like they do more than just go out there and catch a ball, which offers more opportunity for them to get points for you.
Yeah, I get it. Crowder's been exciting to watch too. Like he has looked good. He doesn't look like a number one. Like he looks like size wise, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the build to be that.
No, I understand. I mean, I understand. Like I think that saying he's a number one, I think it's a little much. But with the right complement, and that's why I said Allen Hurns, because I think that Allen Robinson is really good, and I do think that Allen Hurns is good. But I think Allen Hurns, to be good, Allen Robinson has to be good.
Yeah,
so
not the tangent, but I think Marquise Lee's better than Allen Hurns.
That's your prejudice against Allen Hurns, though. You've never liked Allen Hurns.
Yeah,
just because I don't think he's that good. So, I mean, that's why I don't
think. Okay, but we're talking about him as a number 2. We're not saying that he's fantastic.
He's,
I don't think that Marquise Lee is a number 2 wide receiver in the NFL.
You don't? I think Marquise Lee is better of a number 2 receiver than.
But how's he really shown? He's shown hits there, maybe there.
Marquise Lee's been injured since he came into the NFL.
Okay, but
just
that's
now
the
healthy
point.
for the first time. Yeah, but this year's the first time that he's been healthy, and I think that's been. Look at his game log for the last. He's been the best wide receiver in Jacksonville, and really not too close. But
shit.
That's just that. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So you're right. I've never really liked Allen Hurns, but
you just hate every Jacksonville player.
That's not true. It's Marquise Lee. I like Marquise Lee.
Oh, well, okay, fine.
And I don't mind TJ Yeldon. I wish that he would be better than he was, but
okay. I mean, his last game he was 5 for 113, which is awesome. But then 3 for 34, 4 for 37. Like, I mean, he had a good game. I'll give you. He has 54 receptions for 728 yards. So I mean that's decent.
Especially for as trash as Blake Bortles has been.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're tangenting off of it again. Let's talk about some players that are actually pretty good. Ezekiel Elliott or Carlos Hyde. And I threw the DraftKings amounts just in the notes because I was almost thinking of it more from like a DraftKings point of view. If you're not wanting to pay up for David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell this week, which I think is a mistake, but they're expensive.
Yeah, or David Johnson's $10,000.
Yeah, Le'Veon's 9,800. So I did a lineup with both of them in it. Very, very difficult to do. But Ezekiel Elliott's 8,200. Carlos Hyde's only 5,900. And the 49ers are playing the Falcons, so maybe there's that blowout factor thinking they'll go away from Hyde. But who would you rather start?
Oh, Ezekiel Elliott.
I like Carlos Hyde's value.
Yeah,
I like his value, but I don't like his consistency, and that's the problem.
But I like for his value and his matchup versus Zeke's. I'd rather pay up to like Bell or Johnson if I'm going to pay up.
Yeah. If you were to match him up with a David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell, I understand that. That makes sense to me. But like, depending on, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like, I understand.
Value aside, you're taking Elliott pretty easily.
Yeah, there's no question.
They're playing the Bucks. Like, Bucks have a pretty good defensive front.
Yeah, they've been coming on strong this past few weeks, and they're trying to vie for a playoff spot. So, but whereas the Cowboys kind of have it locked up.
The thing to me though is that like Hyde, he has a decent ceiling, but a lower floor. Zeke has a higher ceiling or higher floor and a higher ceiling, like across the board. I think if we're just player to player, like
I think if you're going into the playoffs with them, not speaking daily, that's pretty good. But I think you start Zeke over Hyde if it's in your playoffs.
Yeah.
I think if it's a daily, I think you look at Hyde just because of the value. That's what I think.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, I like it. That's why I threw it in there. I thought the value was kind of interesting, and just like from a player standpoint, you feel like they're both running back ones at this point, probably. So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up our Week 15 preview of the games. You guys want to talk a little DK to end the show?
Yep.
How'd we do last week?
So first off, I just want to say, like, now you know how confusing this is. I mean, look at this.
It's confusing.
Look at this. These are just in the last couple days. Like, I keep getting them.
Okay, so like I was just giving you a hard time about it.
I mean, it is so confusing. Like,
it's really bad.
I mean,
it's really bad.
I opened up the app and I had that alarm at the top right. Open it up. It says new contest created. New contest created. It was like it said week 13, week 14, week 15. I'm like, what?
I know.
Is that why you just didn't join any of them, Van Cleef, until the very last minute? And you screwed us over and didn't do the 50K one?
Oh, I didn't even realize that the 50K one didn't go through.
I signed up for it like literally minutes before.
Yeah, and but you didn't get in on time.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
I hate you.
Okay, well, let's talk about 30K. Honestly, the 30K is more fun anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about the 30K. Who won it?
Well, who cheated? Let's first clear the air. Let's clear the air with that.
So Alex won the cheating one that we turned into just a regular DK, and
I remember. Well, you texted like, I'm really interested to see how the rest of your team turns out because you got Tyreek Hill and who else did I have?
Yeah, Michael Crabtree, I think.
Yeah. And like, I'm really interested to see what it is. I'm like, I'm interested to see what I did because I don't remember this at all. And I did, like, I mean, I remember all the players that I had in that other one. I have no idea what I signed up for. There was somebody else in it with me. It wasn't just me. Like, somebody else signed up for that exact one. And so it was just like, man.
Well, just so you know, I signed up for all of them. every single one that Brent sends me, I just sign up for all of them.
I
figure
get
that
like
you guys
8
will
of them
get in.
now.
Yeah, and I just sign up for all of them. I figure like some of them are gonna drop off. But like,
Yeah.
okay, so in the one that Alex cheated, he ended up winning by 4 points, which I started. Truth be told, I started Albert Wilson in the game, who scored a 0. So I would have beaten you. Just gonna say that. But in the real 30K one, I think I won.
Did you?
Pretty sure. I did.
I don't even remember.
Because I'm the best. And not even close.
Man,
Simply the best.
I had
like-
97.96 points. Alex had 77.96. You had 74.56, Josh, and Brent had 70.70.
I liked my lineup once we knew that once Alex uncovered that he was cheating. I liked my lineup that I set, but it's just like they didn't hit.
Your real 30K
bad.
one?
No, the alternative 50K.
The asterisks?
Yeah,
The asterisks game?
yeah, asterisk.
Go down and live in infamy.
Oh, but the 30K though, I think I like my better second one that I signed up for. The first one I did, that was the asterisk one, I didn't really like, but the second one I kind of liked better, and I was really hoping to hit on RG3 and Duke Johnson, but that didn't hit. So
yeah,
everybody else,
Johnson in there too. Yeah,
I mean, I put Gabriel in there from the Falcons, which he hit. You know, I put in what's his name? I believe he's from Philly, Burton.
Trey Burton.
Trey Burton. Yeah,
Trey Burton. He hit.
Yeah, that was a good start.
Yeah.
And then the Bucks defense, but
yeah, that was a good play too.
The only players in Philadelphia you should start are the 3 tight ends.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's it.
As far as
Jordan
good,
Matthews, I hope.
So in the one that you did this week, it's funny because I got Perriman in here.
Yeah,
at 3,100,
That's
and I think in the 30s every single time I have started Cordell Patterson.
Really,
I have such a man crush on Cordell Patterson.
you do love him.
I love him so much, and why can't he be good? It's like Kristen Michael. Like, why can't you just be good?
Yeah, it's like you're
just
crack
wanna
and
see him
heroin.
succeed.
Oh,
Like,
it's so bad.
Kristen Michael's like your crack, and literally the Cordell Patterson's your heroin.
Oh my
that
god,
that black tar stuff.
Oh, and I picked him up. After I didn't get Tyreek Hill, I picked up Patterson because I don't know where he's going to go next year. I don't think he's going to sign with Minnesota. Like if he goes somewhere, like that's why I was really pissed when Floyd got signed to the Patriots, because I was like, I kind of think that's where he would go. Like, and that could be a huge signing if they were to sign him. But
I mean, it could still happen.
Yeah, it could still happen.
So I started Alex Collins and Jermaine Kearse, thinking that's like, okay, Jermaine Kearse was because Alex played him one time and he was a good play. It was a decent play. And Alex Collins, I figured, well, maybe get some backups to Rawls, if Rawls goes down. And so far, that is not panning out. They're both zeros for me.
I've got the kiss of death. I've got sexy Rexy Burkhead, and then Jalen Richard, because I really wanted to put in that Anderson guy. I don't even know his name. What's his first name? Robbie Anderson from the Jets. Because he's like a cheap, could go over 100 yards type player right now.
Yeah.
What really sucks is that, okay, I have these players, and then my flex, Jack Doyle.
Yeah, all right. I had Jack Doyle at first, and I changed it out. I put Jermaine Gresham in.
Yeah. Here's the defense, because, and it's funny because I didn't even think about this. The defense I have in most of my leagues, because I would try to go super cheap on it this week, the Saints.
Really?
I actually have the Colts going against Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good play too. I just have no faith in Palmer.
I started a ton of Jerick McKinnon, and I actually started Matt Asiata in the 30K league.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it! So did I.
Oh, sorry, pal. I also started Kenneth Dixon.
Oh, Kenneth Dixon.
I was one too, but I went I paid a little bit more elsewhere.
I went Matt
Blake
Moore.
Bortles.
Ooh, nice.
I went Matt Barkley.
Ooh, Barkley.
But I was also trying to pair.
I don't like that the. Oh, go ahead.
Van Cleef, who were you pairing up?
I was going to try pairing up Jeffries because the Jeffries was only 6,000, but I couldn't fit it in.
You can't afford a 6,000 player on there. Yeah. It's really hard.
No, I almost did though. I almost made it work.
I hate the fact that they bought that quarterbacks bottom out at 5,000. Like, why?
I mean, because that's what they want you to construct your lineup with. Like, I think it makes sense. No, it's smart.
Blah.
If you keep quarterback higher, that means that you can't just like tank down at quarterback because quarterback, is such a high scoring position, and then spend more money on a running back or wide receiver. I mean, that's why they do it. I mean, have you ever played on FanDuel? No. FanDuel's quarterbacks are even more.
Like, I don't know what that be. I don't know what that. Why would it matter if I put less money into a quarterback and more money into a running back? Like, how does that throw things off?
You have more money to spend on running backs and skill position players, so you're able to like pay up for those higher players and not have they keep quarterback high like that so that you have to spend some money on it.
Because there's basically all quarterbacks could score really high.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like supply and demand, and so like that, yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I understand.
Which is exactly why I like Blake Bortles this week.
Blake Bortles.
But all right, well, I think that's going to close our show unless you guys got anything else to add to it.
Michael Floyd, baby.
Yeah, good luck, everybody, in your playoffs. Hopefully you fare better than I have. Follow us on Twitter, 4 Horsemen Pod. Hit us up on Gmail, 4horsemenpod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for stopping out. Listen to us. Peace.
Whoop.